All right, to the 5 people who are going to watch this that I actually appreciate, I'm going to weigh in on a little stupid debate that happened yesterday in, was that Detroit? It's another one of those types of things where I always say that with these Republicans and with a lot of their, I guess, conservative supporters or not even just Trump supporters, just like all the different right-leaning people, they always try to act as if there's not a policy divide within the DNC or Democratic Party, whatever you want to call the idiots in blue. And I said before that when I talk about being a independent, that doesn't mean I'm now some lover of Republicans or that I'm going to back anyone who isn't a Democrat. It's simply that when you don't have an overall party message that is unified and you have these hacks that try to implement the past in the present, completely negating that it's failed before, which is why we don't have it now, or that, it presently sucks. You end up getting something as what happened last night, where you had Sanders and Warren fighting off against, what was it, Hickenlooper, Ryan, what's the other one? The little goofy governor, Bullock, Delaney, all the clowns that, they end up having to fight off against these characters who are not offering you anything. And they always try to say, oh, well, you guys just want to give stuff away and that's so impractical and blah, 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 blah. And the only good thing I can say is that when I look at the fact that Sanders and Warren were specifically positioned in the 5th and 6th seats as to denote the fact that they were the front runners of this particular night, I'm reminded of like how happy I am that in this cycle, none of these people have the magic that Hillary or Obama had, where they're crappy, right? They're horrible positions, just garbage candidates overall. But they're able to convince people that they're better than they actually are, and that's something that those two are able to do. And with these people, you see the fact they're polling at 1%, 2%, and it's lovely. I just don't, I wish that the mayor would also go down, but he actually. He did something really comedic, which is when I mentioned the Buddha Trash video or stream rather. I had said that he opposes free college, but he says it in a way to where a lot of these people get tricked into thinking he's some kind of great concerned person about this issue. Where he goes, "Oh, well, I don't want to give rich kids the ability to not have to pay." And just basically saying I'm gonna, because a group will get a handout for will get something they don't need, because they're not burdened by student loan debt, because again they're in that rare case they're wealthy. I'm gonna say screw you to the masses that actually need this program. So he's I get why he's in 5th or 6th place now, because he's able to say things in a way that even if they're dumb, they still with the lesser educated people make sense. They're said in a way to where it's like trying to appeal to both sides. And O'Rourke is kind of similar, but he's not as good. And which does suck, because I do think that he would like, if I have to pick between the two of them, I would just pick O'Rourke, because I'm so like, at least with him we'll get some funny stuff. I think we'll get the same policy, but we'll get some more memes and other jokes that people can put around online for ever. But highlights included when Sanders told Ryan, I wrote the damn bill. When Warren told Delaney, why are you running if you're just gonna go around saying that all this stuff is impossible? Those are really good moments, and I really wish I still had the impression of Warren that I had years ago, where I was like, oh yeah, she's so progressive, and all these people that are mad over her not endorsing Sanders, or they need to relax, they need to not be so pissed off. And knowing now more about her views on international issues, voting for these defense budgets, these ridiculous bloated military budgets, I get it now why why people have their problems with her. But I still think if I were to give a rating, I'd say Sanders is like a 9 out of 10. Nobody's a 10, so don't lose your mind. Warren's like a 7, maybe a 6. O'Rourke is a 4, and everybody else on that field is either a 2 or a 1. Like I don't know why people have this thing for Williamson. I don't understand. I watched her thing, and she spoke negatively about single payer. Not interested. I think I mentioned before, my main three issues are healthcare, which if you don't support single payer, go away. International issues, which they spoke about very little of, which is stupid, but whatever. I'd say probably climate change. Those three. Everything else, I'm just seeing more of the same stupidity, and people don't want to accept the fact that, like when you look at the polling numbers, and these people are at 1% and Biden's at 30. At first, I scratched my head and I said, "How is that even possible?" I mean, why would all these people support Biden but then not support his, counterparts in positions that are on this stage? And I realized, oh my God, all of these other people are only doing worse because they don't have the massive name recognition. Because they're not as well known, even if they suck just as much, they're not going to have as many people blindly saying, "I'll back that person." So it makes sense when you think about it in that manner. Oh no, it was entertaining. Sanders was, I think, the winner. Warren was probably second place. Everybody else has just exposed themselves to be like the only two trying to sound as if they're kind of, appealing to both sides are O'Rourke and Buddha Trash, and they're still like just going to keep falling off because you in the current era of people being in power with the internet, there's a sizable number of younger voters who are going to see through the load of crap they're being sold, or who got swindled by Clinton last time, who aren't going to get swindled this time. Even if they don't vote for Sanders, they're not going to back these other clowns. So yeah, it was good. Or it was at least entertaining.